Hello and welcome to this edition of Chamber Chatter. We are coming to you from the Emery's Rock Realty Studio, and I am so excited to have with us Tee Sharma. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, well, we have to talk. First of all, she is with the Assisted Living Locators, which, as a daughter of an aging parent, which we all don't want to admit, but we're going to need you at some point.
Yes, absolutely. And wonderful to be a resource here in the North Tampa community. And really, in Tampa, we're a franchise. So
Okay.
we have franchisees in Pinellas, South Tampa, all over the U.S., actually.
So you primarily have Wesley Chapel,
So
or
I cover New Tampa, Wesley Chapel, Zephyr Hills, Lutz, Town and Country, Plant City. So kind of the North region, which is it's a lot of coverage actually, and we have over 100 communities. And I say communities because many people like to refer to assisted living as facilities, but
they're not
not.
facilities.
They're
No,
not.
they're your home.
Exactly.
It's where you want to go, and it is a community. So let's talk about that. So assisted living obviously is for people that need a little bit more help when they're ready to move out of their big home and their kids or their family just don't have the capacity to take care of their needs. It's not the traditional nursing home facility.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, kind of the difference. And then there's one key point that I don't know if we should start with or end with, and that's that your clients don't pay you.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll get there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get there.
I just want to make sure we tee that up so that everyone listening, I'll share real quick that the demographics of Wesley Chapel, the median age is 37 and a half. But what we have found is happening is these 37-and-a-half-year-olds are having babies. The grandparents are following
Absolutely.
these babies, and they're going to start aging. And so I think the more information that we can provide now will help people in the future, because you don't want to have to call you in an emergency.
Which happens, believe it or not. Sometimes, back in my corporate job, I had a corporate career in finance. And whenever there was stress, I would say to myself, you're not saving lives. You're not saving lives, right? But in some ways now, with what I'm doing, I really do feel like I am, because I do get calls 10, 11, 12 at night where people are in a panic situation. But just to go back to your question about the communities have so much to offer. It's not just about mom or dad need help with bathing or dressing. It's more about they need community. They need activities. They need people around them because their families get busy. Their children are raising children. And you've heard of the sandwich generation, and sometimes they feel guilty having to rely on their kids to help them with some of their needs. So these communities offer outings, right? So they can go on trips, they can go to the beach, they can go to restaurants. They don't have to drive anymore. They have buses that will take them to all of these places. In addition, they have swimming pools, some of them,
Yeah.
so they can still enjoy the Florida sunshine and all that it has to offer if they have to give up their home with the pool. Their grandkids can go over and play in the pools.
Right.
So, it does become a place where not only the residents live, but family members can also be a part of that community. And they love it when grandkids come and visit. They can have birthday parties there. But studies have shown that community and socialization are such an important part of aging, and this is what these communities offer. And they offer different things for everyone. You can be high functioning and not need anything but the socialization, and you can go there. And then you can start aging and need help with maybe, like we said, bathing, sometimes even cutting up your food because you're unable to do that. So as your needs change, they can help accommodate those needs. Then we have communities that have memory care, right? Which memory care is very difficult to manage at home.
Oh, yeah.
Especially we find when wives need memory care and the husbands just can't manage it. And that's when we see a big trend of them moving into a community. And it can be different things. It can be mom has to go into memory care and dad can go to assisted living, and we have communities that have both.
Oh.
So there's something for everyone. There's a price point for everyone, and our goal is to help you navigate that because it is a journey, and oftentimes you can put your family members, loved ones in the wrong places.
Yeah, and just as buying a house, it's what kind of community do you want to buy your house in, and you kind of need somebody. So you're essentially a realtor of
Yes, you can say
assisted
that.
living.
You can say that.
You will help and find the right fit for the parent, the grandparent, whomever, helping them find the best place. Because, you know, for us, we want them close enough to where
Right.
we can go and check on them or pop in and have dinner or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
And just finding the ones close by. But you said there's 100?
Over 100.
Over
I mean,
100?
well over 100.
Have you toured all of them?
Many, many, many.
Many.
I will not suggest any place that I have not walked through the doors in,
Okay.
or I have not seen. I have not talked to the owners. I have not had any kind of experience with. I will not do that. Whereas there are services that will just kind of point you to someplace and never even know what's to offer. Happy to say that I think there are some more opening up in the areas, so that's
Yes,
exciting.
It is. I remember when we got our first one here in Wesley Chapel, the Beach House.
Yes.
And
Which is now the American House.
oh,
FYI.
is it?
Fresh off the press.
When did they change the name?
Just got a wind of it yesterday.
Oh my
And
God, breaking news.
Breaking news, guys. And American House is an amazing chain, so
It's still at Wiregrass Ranch, though, because it
is.
has to be.
It
because
is.
it's in Wiregrass. I do know that won't change.
It is.
But I remember when the Beach House was coming, we did their groundbreaking for them, and we were part of it. And just the aesthetic of everything that they had in there, and their goal was the Beach House was where everybody wanted to go, meaning when you were younger, you know, the
Right.
families going to the beach and the Beach House. And so I just remember we used to have our women's networking group there on the second floor. And it was just such a new thing for me because I obviously hadn't been in an assisted living facility before, but just to see what the next phase of life would bring and just all the cool things, the doors decorated. And then
yes.
we have so many in our service area, and they, in my opinion, are the best because
They're pretty terrific.
they're up here and they are they're just really great additions to our community.
Yeah.
And there was a time when Blue Herring was coming,
Yes.
and we still needed certificates of need back then.
Okay.
And they've done away with those certificates of need now, so we will have more popping up.
Absolutely.
But-
and I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so talk to us a little bit about the process, because I teed up the fact that the client doesn't pay you, very much like a realtor. I'm gonna start calling you a realtor. Sorry, but you are kind of a
yes.
realtor. You help people find their forever home. Like,
Absolutely, and our services are free, right? Most seniors they have a fixed income, so we are so mindful of the fact that they have to pay enough for so many things as it is. We're not going to add on top of that burden, right? So how do we get paid? Like I said, we work with over 100 communities. And our goal is to show them communities that are the best fit for them. So we show them, we tour them, we accompany them on tours. We are holding their hand through the entire process. And we're also giving them resources as needed, right? Do you need an elder care attorney? We have one. Do you need a home care person in case you're not ready to move yet, but you need help at home? We have. So we build all these relationships in the community with other partners that we can refer out to. So you choose a community, and that's how we get paid. The community say, thank you, Tee, for bringing this resident to us, and that's how we get paid, is from the community, which I think is an excellent model.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's such a great model. I mean, and families are with us from the time they move in, unfortunately, until the time they pass. keep in touch with them, and oftentimes they need more, right? Okay, mom needs memory care now, or she even needs to go to a nursing home because sometimes the level of care is so high, like if you need a feeding tube, that is not allowed in assisted living communities. So then what can you recommend by way of nursing homes? And so we try to build a resource list so that we can provide families with end-to-end assistance as needed. And we become their therapist, we become their daughters, their sisters, we become everything to them. And what I thought I was doing is helping seniors when I started this service, but I'm helping people my own age. I am helping daughters managing this.
Right.
And I didn't actually see that one coming, which is great because I can identify with them. So I think it
Same.
helps.
Yeah. So you were in corporate. How did you get here?
Yes. Yeah. I was in corporate for over 30 years.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You are the demographic of Wesley Chapel. That is seriously
Really?
what the trend that we are seeing is corporate America. They kind of either finish that cycle of life, burnout, whatever the case may be. They're buying these various franchises and finding their love,
Yeah,
finding their
absolutely.
passion and finding their joy again. So how did you?
I was in finance over 30 years, as I mentioned. I moved here in 96 to work for a company called Solomon Brothers, and some of you may know Solomon Brothers back then, but I moved here to work with them, and since I've worked at a few finance companies, and I've always had a passion for senior care. Back in 2008, I wanted to open an adult daycare.
Oh,
And then the financial crisis happened, and I thought, oh, not a good idea.
not time.
And so I loved what I did. Absolutely loved the company I worked for and everything I did. My son graduated college, and my other son was in college, and I said, you know what? I think it's time for me to do something a little different. And so this opportunity was presented, and I thought, wow, I love this. I love everything about it. Because a free service to seniors,
Yeah.
right? And I can help people, and it just seemed like it was the right thing to do at the right time. And so the universe spoke to me, and I answered.
Yeah. And so you hosted our first coffee social of 2026.
Yes.
It's a huge crowd.
Yeah, thank
It was
you.
such a great crowd here, but you don't have an office per se.
Yes, exactly.
You're remote, hybrid, you go wherever you need to go,
We
right?
are on the road all the time, and I think that was also the beauty is that I did not need bricks and mortar to do this, right? I don't have that added expense. I work from my home. I am in communities. I am at hospitals, rehabs, family homes, assisted living communities. I have the pleasure of having a medical social worker and a person who's had home care experience for over 20 years working with me.
Nice.
So we are in front of our families doing the best that we can to help them. So that is kind of my foray
Yeah.
from corporate America. I had a great career. I loved it, but I love this now.
Yeah. And it's a great way to segue and say all the hard work I did has got me
Absolutely.
to this place where I am now.
Yes.
And in the chamber world, we have all those connections for you. I know you made some great connections and some new partners and
Definitely.
and different, because we've got the will and estate planning attorneys. We have the financial advisors that probably are your best friend because
Yes.
those are the ones that say, oh, by the way, you have this long-term health policy. Go to a nicer facility. So it's all working together.
It's so wonderful to have those resources here. I moved here at 96, right? There was one grocery store, one stoplight, and the growth of the North Tampa area has just been magical.
So you've been in this area since 96?
I have.
Oh my gosh.
I have.
So I've started calling you folks the natives.
Yes.
Anyone who's been here since before 2007.
Yeah.
So you really got to see all of this.
I did, and I remember when I bought my house, the realtor said, there's going to be this road that's going to go across county line, or 56, I think is what it was. And I was like, really? There's going to be an exit on 75? And sure enough, it's come to fruition.
Look at it now.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I moved here, everyone's like, Wesley Chapel, what is that? Like, what is that town? And now everyone wants to go to Wesley Chapel.
WC is the place to be.
Oh, I love it. Love that. Yep.
It was when we used to be the Wesley Chapel Chamber of Commerce, I would use that in my closing, and it was like I was throwing gang signs or something. I was like, we are a gang. We're Wesley Chapel. We're putting ourselves on the map.
That's
and
right.
look at this community.
There's more hospitals coming up as well.
I know. I just took a picture of Orlando Health.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
opening next month.
Yeah.
And I got to see the signs on the side of it, and it's that kind of progress that gets me excited, because now our community has more options. We love the fact that Advent was our first hospital.
That's right.
Baycare was our second. We've got Orlando Health as our third, and Johns Hopkins All Children's as our fourth.
That's right.
4 hospitals out of the ground in one community. My colleagues around the country are like, what? What are you talking about? Are you serious? Yes.
Exactly.
So it's a beautiful place of growth and prosperity as well, because what we've got to see is the ecosystem of the small businesses supporting the large businesses, to supporting each other, to growing together.
Right. And, the support from other businesses has been really amazing. And I really appreciate everyone understanding the journey of a small business. And
it is a journey.
Yeah. And participating to help that. And, we talked a little bit about the demographic of Wesley Chapel being young. But, I get calls from people who have families who are in Sarasota, Naples, and their kids are in Wesley Chapel. And they say, hey, I want to move closer.
Yeah.
I want to move closer to be near my... And so now the demographic is going to be evolving.
It is changing. It might be even higher than that. I speak to that in my conversation, and so it's 37 and a half, 2.5 kids, but it is changing. It's getting a little bit higher, and I think it's because we're aging too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was the 37 and a half year old when I moved here, and so now we're aging ourselves. So it will be going up, but nonetheless, it is just such a wonderful community. Some of the other communities that are coming are just going to add to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have enough inventory.
That's,
Because I think the occupancy rate is very high.
I think
here
so.
in this area for assisted living. And memory care is a little bit harder to find.
Yeah, I mean, they do tend to oftentimes be full when we need it. So we do have to pivot to other areas. And so, like I said, I cover Lutz, Land O'Lakes, all those areas. So it's not that far.
No.
And the places are wonderful there as well. So we pivot when we have to.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the wait list is your best friend.
That's what I was just going to say. Should we all get on waiting lists now?
Get on a wait list. Get on a wait list, or don't wait until something bad happens.
Right.
That is the other challenge. Is financially, it's a challenge for some, fixed income, but others, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I can do this. And then something bad happens, and then the choices are out the window because the level of care is changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so dad can no longer stand up. Mm-hmm. And so we have to then figure out what that next step is.
Yeah.
So I always say...
And it's a hard time.
It's difficult.
And that's why you become the therapist. You help them think through it and process it and get them in the right place.
Exactly. It is always, and sometimes it can take, I've just worked with someone I started working with in February of 2025. And she just moved in last week.
Oh, yay.
Right? So it's a process at times. Some people are
is.
just not ready. And unfortunately, she had to move. And so I think she's pretty happy now.
I bet she will be. Especially
she's having all her meals made.
All her meals made when she gets to play bingo. And most of them have a bar.
Happy hour.
Happy hour. My daughter knows that is the number one thing to look for when it's time for me to go.
Yes.
Make sure there's a bar and I can have my friends. We can have happy hour.
The best time to take a family to tour is during happy hour
Right?
because they look at it and they are just like, when can I move in?
Exactly.
Or sometimes they have musicians come and everyone's dancing
and singing. And it's a great experience.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
T, where can they find you on social and?
Yep. So look for me on Facebook, Assisted Living Locators North Tampa. I am on LinkedIn, Assisted Living Locators North Tampa. I'm on Instagram. I have a TikTok account I'm working on, but
What?
it's there.
Okay.
And YouTube is coming, but I am in your community. And I'm here to help families. And like I said, we have wonderful extensions of what we do with our partners. So if you're not ready for assisted living yet and you want elder care, you want financial advising, just reach out, because all these services that we do are free for families, so we can help you through the process.
Well, thank you for educating us on
You're
that. And thank
welcome.
you for being a native. And thank you for being a member of our chamber.
Thank you so much. And I love being part of this chamber, and I'm looking forward to lots of growth in 2026.
That is what we're doing. We're
Yep.
going to thrive in 2026.
Absolutely.
All
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thank you.